Chapter 8. A Terrible Accident. After breakfast, the group went for a last walk around Lim, with Captain and Miss Harfield and Captain Benwich. But when they started to walk along the seafront again, with Captain Benwich, the Harvilles returned home after many long, warm goodbyes. As it was windy, they decided to move down to the lower part of the seafront. Most of the group went carefully and slowly down the steep steps, but Louisa wanted Captain Werford to catch her while she jumped. He told her that the ground was too hard, but Louisa would not listen. Captain Werford caught her safely, and then she ran quickly back up to jump down again. Captain Werford put out his hands, but Louisa was a little too fast. She fell straight onto the pavement. There was no blood, but Louisa was not moving and her face was white. It was a terrible moment for them all. She's dead, screamed Mary, holding onto her husband. Henrietta started to fall to the ground, but Annie and Captain Bedwich caught her. Together they held her up and tried to keep her calm. "Can't not one help me?" cried out Captain Warford. He was holding Louisa in his arm, and his face was as white as hers. Go to him, cried Anne to Captain Benwich. "I can hold Henrietta myself. Leave me and go to him. Here are some smelling salts. Take them. Captain Benwich took the salts from Anne and went to Louisa. At the same time, Charles freed himself from Mary, and together they tried to wake Louisa up, but Louisa still did not move. "Oh God!" cried Captain Werford, holding himself up against the wall. "Get a doctor!" cried Anne. "Captain Benwich, you will know where we can find a doctor." Her words seemed to bring Captain Werford to himself. "Yes, a doctor," he says. Charles took his sister from Captain Werford, and Captain Benwich ran towards the town as fast as she could, and tried to stay calm and strong. She looked after Henrietta and tried to quiet Mary, who had become hysterical. She spoke sensible to Captain Werford and to Charles, who let out great cries of sadness as he looked down at his sister. Everyone seems to wait for Anne to decide what to do. "I think we should carry her gently to the inn," said Anne. Yes, to the inn," said Captain Warford. "I shall carry her myself, Charles. You bring the others." But as they were moving away from the windy seafront, the Havilands came to meet them. They had seen Captain Burchett running past their house, and from the look on his face they knew that something was wrong. They told Captain Warford to carry Louisa to their house and wait for the doctor there. At the Harvey's house, Louisa was carried up to Mr. Harvey's bed, with Captain Harvey set the others down and brought the drink and salts. Louisa had opened her eyes once, but closed them again, so Henrietta was feeling a little calmer. Mary, too, was becoming less hysterical. The doctor came quickly. They felt sick with worry while he looked at Louisa. However, he did not give them the terrible news they had all been afraid of. He said he was hopeful that Louisa would get better. Her head had been hit badly, he said, but he had seen people get better from worse accidents in the past. "Thank God," said Captain Warford, with a look which Anne was sure she would never forget. He put his face in his hands as if he was trying to calm his deepest feelings. Now they had to decide what to do. The Harveys said that Louisa should stay with them. Mr. Harvey and her servants were good nurses, they said, and would do everything for her. They said they could also find a space for some of the others if they wanted to stay. They would not listen to anyone who said that it was too much trouble for them. After talking for a while, Charles and Captain Warford agreed that Charles would stay with his sister, while Captain Warford drove at once back to Uppercross. Someone needed to tell Miss and Miss Monrose about the accident, and it was getting late. I shall take Miss Henrietta home, said Captain Warford. I think only one person should stay to help Miss Harley. Miss Monrose will want to go back to her children's, of course, but if Anne will stay, nobody could do as much as Aunt. Anne was just coming into the room as he spoke. You will stay, I am sure, he said, turning to her. He spoke so warmly and gently, almost as he used to speak at her all those years before. Anne felt her cheeks turning red, and Captain Warford remembered himself at once and moved away. It was what she most wanted, Anne told Captain Warford. She had thought of it herself, and she was very pleased to sit. A bed on the floors of Louisa's rooms was all she needed. Captain Warford hurried away to get everything ready, but Mary was not happy about the plan. Anne was nothing to Louisa, she said, but Mary was Louisa's sister-in-law. Why could she not be as useful as Aunt? And how could she go home without Charles, her husband? She spoke so strongly and for so long that at least her husband could argue with her no more. Mary, Charles decided, would stay with Lisa while Aunt went back to Uppercross. Aunt had never been so sorry to let Mary win an argument, but there was nothing she could do. When they all arrived back at the inn, Captain Warford was waiting for them with the carriage. He was surprised and annoyed that Mary and not Anne was staying with Louisa. It was a difficult moment for Aunt. It was clear that she was only important to him because of what she could do for Louisa. She had wanted to stay with Lisa and look after her for Captain Warford, and now it seems that she was not doing what he asked her. As they drove home, Captain Warford talked only to Henrietta. He spoke calmly, trying to make her feel better and give her hope for Louisa. But once he cried out with the strongest feelings, "Oh, well, what did I let her shoot down? She would not listen when I say no." Cheers to Louisa. Captain Warford had talked before about a strong mind and how important that was to him. Perhaps someone. He will not agree that you should sometimes let people persuade you not to do things. When they arrived back at Uppercross, Captain Warford went into the house first to tell Miss and Miss Monrose about the accident. He said Auntie Henrietta was with her parents and they were all calm. Then he told them that he was going to drive back to Lyme in the carriage that night. He waited until the horses were ready and then